Hi, I'm McKinney, Advocacy Director at Voices for Georgia's Children, and welcome to my front porch on this rainy Sunday. This will be really quick because I want to work out because I don't get to work out all week because I'm at the Capitol doing real work. So anyway, we'll make this really fast. Last week was crossover week. It was super duper busy. It was only 3 legislative days though, but they packed a lot into those days and crossed a lot of bills over to the other side, meaning they passed them out of one chamber into the other. So now that all those bills have crossed, this week coming up is a very busy committee week for each side. The Senate in particular, well, both of them have a lot of stuff going on, but bills are going to be pushed through committee really quickly because there's not a lot of time to get them voted out of committee, into the Rules Committee, and then hopefully chosen to go into the floors for votes. So we're going to be sending probably action alerts maybe every day, every other day for you guys to pay attention to. Please pay attention to them and make those calls. Very important. This is the best time to advocate. Let's see, but in terms of like actual policy and not just the like fun part of protocol and voting and stuff, a lot of stuff has happened. Friday, the Senate passed its version of the 2016 budget. They didn't change tons and tons and tons. You can go to our update, right? I do this every week, right here or here, somewhere. And click the button and look at our update and see what the main child-relevant budget changes were that the Senate made to the House's budget. What will happen now is since they passed that budget, it'll go back to the House and the House will decide if it's going to agree or not, and if it doesn't agree, which it usually doesn't, it will go to a conference committee, which is made up of 3 members of each chamber, and they get in there and they like negotiate the final bill, and then they bring it back to their chambers for an up or down vote, and they move on. They have to pass the budget. It's the one thing that they have to pass. And I'd like to introduce you to my cat, Fuzzball, who just decided to make an appearance here on the porch. Fuzzball doesn't care anything at all about child-relevant policy unless it involves a child feeding him. So anyway, next week we have a lot of stuff going on. The cannabidiol bill, the medical marijuana bill, and I wish they would change it to another word than that cannabis word because I can't ever say it. That passed out of Health and Human Services Committee last week, so that is actually sitting in Senate rules right now. It could get a vote on the floor of the Senate sometime this week, which is kind of exciting for a lot of people. It maintained a lot of the original stuff that Representative Peake had put in it and then added some clinical trial stuff that Senator Tippins wanted to see. It's really an interesting process, so keep your eyes open for that. Next week we've got bills in committee Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's really busy. We've got the Opportunity School District bills are in committee, the Child Welfare bill is in committee, the Criminal Justice Reform bills for adult and juvenile justice are in committee, and the Human Trafficking bill will have a vote in committee on Monday. This is a bill that has had activity on both sides. They were sort of parallel bills. Senator Unterman is sort of the champion of this human trafficking legislation, and we're hoping that it passes out of committee so that it can be considered on the floor. It's a very complicated conversation, but what I can tell you is that it's really important for people to prioritize funding services for children who are trafficked for commercial sexual exploitation. It's an awful thing, and we just need the state to think about how it's going to help these kids. So the conversation alone is huge. Okay, so the advocacy ask for you guys for this week is to watch your emails. I know that sounds really boring and most people do watch their emails, but we have so much going on that we may need really quick activity to get stuff voted on. We may need you to call your elected officials. So please keep your eye on your emails and be polite when you call them and thank them for all their work, even if they don't vote the way you want them to. These folks are working really, really hard right now. All of us are trying to do what we can that we think is the best for our state. So be respectful and watch your action alerts and do what we tell you. Thanks. See you next week.